There's still more bullying. There's still more bullying going on. Almost 20 years ago during the pandemic, bullying was on the rise. And who do we blame? We blame the pandemic. Now there is new data that shows that bullying is on the rise again. And just a bit, just shortly, we're gonna also play you a news clip. We're gonna take you back to Hobbs to a school in Houston, which the board says they don't want to hear it. Take a look.
Take yourself back to when you were this age. For many kids, the dismissal bell meant freedom to go home and relax. But for those who were bullied, it meant freedom from torment.
They could leave it at school. Now they can't. So it's constantly following them 24/7.
Michelle Carney-Ray Yoder has seen it from both sides. First as a student, then as a parent, but now as the superintendent of the Summers Point School District in New Jersey.
It starts in school, it goes home, it gets worse with all the technology, and then it spills back over into school. So it's almost become a 24/7 job as an administrator to try to get that under control.
In December, Pew Research released a study showing 46% of students reported experiencing some form of cyberbullying. It's lower than 2018's total of 59%, but higher than 2020's total of 40% during the first year of the pandemic. The demographic that has consistently seen the most cyberbullying is older teen girls. Just 54 miles north of Summers Point, in Bayville, 14-year-old Adriana Cush took her own life in the first week of February after she was bullied online. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 30% of teenage girls have considered doing the same.
I really feel very strongly that the combination of COVID and social media has exacerbated what we're looking at from a school perspective regarding HIB or harassment, intimidation, and bullying than we've had in the past.
In 2006, Carney-Ray Yoder's school district became a Renaissance School District, a program designed to cultivate teacher and student engagement through pep rallies, energy, and positivity. These are some of the pictures from the rallies that show what it's about, as Renaissance is just one of many programs set on building positive culture within schools nationwide and watching the results trickle down. In the first year of its implementation, Carney-Ray Yoder says disciplinary referrals went down by 33%. A national study of the program from 2019 shows that engagement also boosted straight A students by 4% in the districts it studied. It follows other research that shows more structured time reduces bullying, since most of it happens during recess, lunch, and breaks between class when students are less supervised.
It's giving them the opportunity, to not only receive rewards and reinforcement for what they're doing well, which is their job every day, but also they have that connection to the school, those relationships with the adults in the school and their classmates, and that they feel like they're appreciated and that they're seen and heard and ultimately loved.
It's a step in helping kids that have both bullied and been bullied, building a culture of acceptance and collaboration so adversaries turn to peers. Dan Grossman, Scripps News, Summers Point, New Jersey.
There is no question about whether bullying will continue, but at least what's going on here is that it's still going on. According to the data, this was before the pandemic, down 50%, and higher up during the pandemic. So really, when you look at something like this, it kind of feels the need that what you're looking at here is just basically everyone's being bullied. A lot of people being cyberbullied. But parents are concerned about all of this. And before we get to the parents here, my take about this is just as simple. It's as simple as common sense. Common sense would show you that your child needs to not be bullied. We have to teach kids that it's not okay for them to be picked on, and teach them to stand up for themselves. Now, parents may be saying, "Go hit that person," blah blah blah. If you're trying to start a fight, you might as well just finish that fight. But really, when you're dealing with people, when you're being bullied, a lot of times kids don't report it to the office because other times it's all like, I basically don't want to hear it. And being someone who's been doing this for 6 years and who has created the Stop Bullying Speak Up group on Facebook, a lot of times the parents want to blame the bullies' parents for not nipping in the bud, stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, my child's being bullied, you didn't do anything for your son. And people may think, oh, bullying's such a joke. Do you think it's a joke? Do you think suicide's a joke? Do you think when people call people a bitch or ugly is a joke? Do you think people hang themselves is a joke? Like when you see in movies? If you think it's a joke, you're in the wrong place. But whenever you're dealing with stories, it kind of makes you feel like your child's there, watching the story with you about bullying, and asking themselves, what should I have done better? Coming up, parents are concerned about bullying and suicide. There were sounds at that meeting, we'll tell you. Still ahead. Do you sit in those massage chairs? Well, Steve Fabian is going to explain some accidents and give you some helpful tips. And some recording in the bathrooms from schools. Stay with us. Can you ever imagine speaking about bullying to the school district, but then they shut you out saying, I don't want to hear it, it's not on the agenda. But then you're concerned that your own daughter committed suicide, and they may still want to hear it. You're about to meet a mother who says she spoke out at that meeting, and the superintendent said, nope, it's not on the agenda, we don't want to hear it. But what could she have done? Here's Devin Clark.
I lost my daughter's life.
Serena Sharp is overcome with grief.
There is no amount of money, there's nothing anybody can do for me that can bring her back.
Sharp's 14-year-old daughter, Lillian Medina, committed suicide earlier this month. She says because of constant bullying at the middle school.
Nobody investigated when I said something. No one went to her aid. The last words she wrote on a mirror was, maybe they'll notice me now.
This mother's pain now coupled with frustration.
You don't want to hear me talk. It's not on your agenda.
I was trying to be polite to explain our policy. I understand completely, but the policy is what it is.
At today's school board meeting, Sharp and several other parents were hoping to raise their concerns about bullying to the Barbers Hill ISD Superintendent Greg Poole and the other board members, but were told that they couldn't.
This is not the way to conduct a meeting.
Some say the issue should have been the first item on the agenda.
People are getting tortured on school buses, in classrooms. Who knows what's going on in the bathrooms? So it's like, it frustrates for me, for her, because her daughter literally just passed away.
And I noticed her every day and it wasn't enough. It was not enough.
And one of the ideas that parents wanted to pose was the school district adopting this program called Time Travel Journeys, which is said to offer a creative approach to tackling mental health. Again, we tried to get answers from someone here at Barbers Hill ISD, even sending a list of questions, but so far we have not heard back. Reporting in Mont Bellevue, Devin Clark, KPRC 2 News.
Common sense wouldn't tell you to talk to the superintendent about it. He's the leader of the school district, and you forgot to mention, oh my God, I forgot it wasn't part of the agenda. Maybe I should talk to the superintendent. But if you would have decided to take them to court and say, you were not being heard, they can just fire back at you and start saying that, well, it was our policy that has to be put on the agenda. We encourage everyone to follow our policy. That's their choice. Now a couple of stories about videotaping in the bathroom. First, from California, a teacher allegedly puts recording devices in the bathroom. Take a look at this.
We go.
A teacher has been arrested for allegedly placing hidden cameras in bathrooms at a California high school.
Our school resource officer responded out to Beckman High School and was provided a device that we have determined is a hidden recording device. That device was placed in 2 different locations, 2 different devices, placed in an all-gender restroom. And right now we believe that that device that was placed there to record people coming in and out of the restroom.
Police in Irvine say 37-year-old robotics teacher Sue Kong Sit was charged with possession of or manufacturing child pornography, burglary, and 2 misdemeanor charges. They say the recording devices were discovered by a contract maintenance worker at the school and turned over to officials. They also say the devices recorded several victims in the restrooms. Students tell KCBS they're shocked.
It's disgusting.
It's really disturbing, especially because of the little kids who use the
they
bathrooms
had it at the bathroom of the pool over there.
I feel really unsafe. I don't know. I don't think I'll go back to those. Using restrooms at school might be a no.
The school's principal reportedly wrote in a letter to parents, "At this time, the district does not know any specific details related to how long the devices were in the restrooms or any information related to the content that may have been recorded." Police say they are still investigating and trying to contact other victims. Sid has bonded out of jail.
Bonded out of jail? Should have stayed in jail for one reason, because really, you should have been learning a lesson back then. You tell your parents, hey, I'm in jail, they would do one of things. Number 1, bail you out. Number 2, tell you to stay in there and make sure you learn your lesson. Take a look at this next one. A middle school student says the teacher recorded him in the bathroom, doing business there. And the grandmother says it's illegal.
Fulton County school officials confirm they are investigating after a Renaissance Middle School student told family members a female teacher recorded him using the bathroom at school.
He says, but I wanted to tell you what happened at school today. And I said, oh, okay. And when he started telling me, I said, wait a minute, what'd you say?
The child told his great-grandmother that the alleged incident happened inside a boys' restroom at the school February 16th, and that the educator showed the video to his classmates.
He said she was videoing us on her phone. It was me and 2 other boys in there. Well, they were washing their hands, and he said, I was urinating. He said, yeah. Well, she cast it on the screen board in the classroom. I said, well, who was in there? He said, the whole class. And she turned it on and let everybody see us in the bathroom, and I was peeing.
Pickett immediately called Renaissance to report what happened. A school district spokesperson told Fox 5, once a report was made, Fulton County Schools took immediate action, and the employee is currently on administrative leave pending an investigation. Pickett says the 12-year-old's classmates have been bullying him since the incident. Weeks later, she says her grandson is upset and confused.
And he said, no, she can do that. I said, no, she can't do that. He said, I didn't want her to film me peeing. And then when she put it on the board, he said, I was embarrassed. The kids was teasing and saying things. He said only one kid said, that's inappropriate.
Ms. Pickett said that her grandson is just so upset by everything that happened, but he is still attending school. She says she hopes this matter is resolved quickly. That's the latest here in South Fulton. Deeper Dukes, Fox 5 News.
In the state of Texas, it's illegal. In Georgia, it's illegal. In California, it's illegal. In the state of Texas, you could be faced up to 6 months to years in prison. In California, you'll face jail time. In Georgia, you'll face jail time. If you live in those states, just know that if you record, you're facing jail time. If you're not going to follow the rules, there's consequences for your actions. Well, next, do you sit in those massage chairs? Steve Fabian is going to tell you these massage chair accidents that only you will see first on this broadcast. Stay with us. Just 7 hours ago, there was a stabbing that happened. Take a look.
On this day that we address difficult issues facing our youngest people, we are very sad to bring you this breaking news out of Santa Rosa. A 16-year-old student has died after being stabbed during a fight at Montgomery High School. This information coming to us right now from the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat. They're very close to the scene right now. The report says another 16-year-old was stabbed but survived, and a 15-year-old was arrested. That school put on lockdown. You can see police there responding to parents, kids coming out of the school. Eventually, the classes were canceled in the wake of this violence. We're watching the situation. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Wow. There was a press conference that happened 4 days ago. There was an 11-year-old who was stabbed after school.
An 11-year-old boy is in the
ICU. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, good afternoon, you guys. As you mentioned, the police chief.
This was in California, but when I can talk about that, we'll talk about that on Friday. But let's focus. Let's move on to what we're going to talk. What I promised you guys. Are you familiar with these massaging chairs? Do you ever realize that? When you sit in these massage chairs, you're getting a full massage. Are you ever trapped in there? What if you realize that those massage chairs are dangerous? You're about to see some examples of these massage chairs as they've been showing accidents happening on these massage chairs. And as you'll see, a lot of times when you're getting the massage, you'll never know if you're trapped on that massage chair. Here's Steve Fabian.
Massage chairs, they're everywhere. Ooh, that's nice. In many spas and living rooms, even airport terminals. After a long and stressful day, sitting back and relaxing in a full body massage chair like this sure does feel great, just trust me. But something you may not know is that some of these chairs have been linked to a number of accidents.
911, what's your emergency? I have a client that has her foot stuck in a massage roller in a chair and we can't get her out.
Last year, this woman got her foot trapped in a massage chair at a spa in Florida.
Is she bleeding at all? No, her foot is trapped in a massage chair. We can't get the chair to release, so I just need somebody to come break it and get her out.
Firefighters actually had to use an electric saw to try and break open the device.
Pull it out. I don't know if it's going to hurt her or not.
You can hear the woman cry out in pain.
Okay, hold on. Where's the pain?
At last, they free her foot.
We got it.
In 2013, a 4-year-old boy was accidentally killed when he crawled under this massage chair. He was crushed when he turned on the remote control. We found other videos on social media of people saying they're trapped in massage chairs.
We can't get out of the massage chair at the furniture store. We're stuck and it's squeezing us.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission estimates there were at least 2,200 emergency department visits involving massage chairs between 2012 and 2021.
Man, these chairs are pretty high-tech.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
We came to the New Jersey massage chair showroom to try some out. It's sort of like someone's giving me a big hug right now. It's squeezing me around the shoulders. If anybody out there is worried, are massage chairs safe?
I feel they're absolutely safe. If you're in any kind of distress, just hit the power button and it's going to reset itself.
Sure. Owner Nicholas Famey says it's important to read the owner's manual and familiarize yourself with all of the chair's settings. Any tips for somebody going to use a massage chair?
Yeah, I guess number one, realize what you're going to be using it for. If it's going to be for a variety of people, everybody's size, shape, and sensitivity level is different. It's really imperative that an adult is present. These are not toys. They're very powerful machines.
Ooh. Another tip, if you are ever in distress, just shut the power off so the chair resets itself.
Those are some helpful tips out there. Just remember, those massage chairs are not toys to your children. Your child could be crushed, and either you or your child can be crushed and die. Let's get the very latest from the teen back in California, back in Florida, where he's charged with battery. Now, if you don't remember, we showed you the video to where a 17-year-old attacked a teacher's aide because she took his Nintendo Switch. Now the 17-year-old is charged as an adult. He's now facing a juvenile under $1 million bond But what's interesting enough, I read the description and on the GoFundMe page, she denied taking the Nintendo Switch. So what's really going on? And I want to warn you, this is very disturbing to watch. Take a look.
The 17-year-old student police say violently attacked a teacher's aide will be charged as an adult facing an aggravated battery charge, according to court documents. The victim is Joan Nadich. She's a mom of 2. Her daughter, Nikki, says, "Please be comforted knowing she is home and recovering. This incident has reached areas of the world I never thought possible." Nadich's son is a senior at the high school where the attack took place in Florida. This is the moment cops took 17-year-old Brendan Deepa into custody.
Am I going to jail? Yes, you are. For how long? I do not know. I don't make that determination. I don't want to go to jail.
He is now being held in juvenile jail with bail set at $1 million. In a statement, the school superintendent said, "Creating a safe learning and working environment is critical. Adding violence is never appropriate." This is Inside Edition Digital.
If he's convicted, he could face 15 months in prison, 15 months probation, and fines up to $15,000. That's harsh. 15 plus 15, that's 35. You add another 15, that's 50. That's almost like $50,000 right there, if you continue doing this. So he's bailed at $1 million bail, so and so. But we'll keep you posted what's going on here, and on future shows we'll let you know what's happening. When we come back, were your kids ever taken hostage by bus drivers? We're gonna show you some examples, and it's gonna be tough for you moms and dads to see. It was certainly tough for me. We'll be right back. Can you just ever imagine leaving your child being left hostage on the bus? It doesn't surprise me. When I heard about this issue, Googling it, I must realize, what the hell was these bus drivers thinking? Take a look at a portion of this clip.
Yeah, you need to I'm getting so mad right now. You guys, calm down! Calm down! Why isn't he opening the door?
That's just harsh for me to watch. I just muted this. It's an example of leaving your kids on the bus. If you're a bus driver, you know exactly what goes on. Your students are misbehaving on the bus, so you tell them to knock it off, or we're not going home. Let's give you some examples of what's going on. First from CBS 42, bus driver allegedly traps kids inside.
Parents want action after an incident involving an Oxmoor Valley Elementary School bus driver. You're looking at cell phone video taken on Thursday. Parents say the driver refused to let the children off the bus. All of this reportedly because there was trash on the school bus floor. Good evening, I'm Sherry Jackson.
I'm Jack Boyer. Thanks for joining us tonight as we start with CBS 42 News reporter Robert Sherman, who's been speaking with both parents and members of the school board today. He starts us off with that reaction from parents, so much emotion for them, Robert.
Absolutely, Jack. Right now we're at the corner of 45th Street Southwest and Airview Street, and right now, as you can see behind me, everything is calm and quiet, but take a look at this video that shows this area yesterday just after 3 o'clock. As you can see, there's a lot of heated emotion and anger and vitriol. It was a very tumultuous scene. Neighbors say that around 3:15 p.m. on Thursday, the driver of this Oxmoor Valley Elementary school bus allegedly refused to let the children off the bus because some spilled chips and snacks were not cleaned up. One parent told us that her child was dropped off a mile down the road as a result of this. We spoke to Patricia McAdory with the Birmingham School Board by phone.
We regret that that incident happened, and we do value our students as well as all of our stakeholders. And we're going to do whatever's necessary to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
Birmingham City Schools also told us that after parents showed up at the school this morning with concerns, they sent a representative to field any questions that the parents might have. Tiffany Scott has 5 children who ride the bus. Her 7-year-old son has serious health complications and is prone to seizures.
He has to take his medicine at 3:30 in the afternoon. As soon as he gets off the bus and gets in the house at home, he takes his medicine. Because the bus driver would not let him off the bus yesterday, he was late taking his medicine. And the only thing I could do as a parent was to sit up all night trying to make sure that he doesn't have a seizure because he was late on his medication.
So because your child was late getting off the bus yesterday, your child's life was put in danger.
Yes, he did. He really put my child in danger because say if the chips hadn't gotten up or whatever, say if I hadn't called the police, say if nobody came and got them off the bus, if he had not had his medicine, he probably would be in Children's Hospital right now, hooked up to a bunch of monitors and wires.
Birmingham City Schools told me today that there's currently an ongoing investigation and that a supervisor drove this bus route today, but after speaking with 3 different sets of parents, they told me that they might not let their child take the bus to school for a very long time. Live in Birmingham, Robert Sherman, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
It is okay to be so...
Wow. Common sense alert. If there's a mess on the bus, you as a bus driver are required to clean up. Don't stop the bus and say, no one's guilty the bus, someone cleans up this mess. Everyone's crying. The parents are sitting there saying, where's my child, blah, 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 blah. And yet, you as a bus driver, if you're riding the bus, you also got to clean up the mess. You got a broom on the side, you sweep it up. You don't leave it for the kids to clean up. Now there's also an incident that happened. In Boston, there was a video that shows bus driver refusing to let students off the bus. Here's a second example.
It is so disturbing. Kids screaming, trapped on their school bus. The driver won't let them out. He starts screaming at them and their parents.
News Center 5's Drew Lipoff here right now with the video, Phil, that's going viral tonight.
It certainly is, and you're about to see why, Ed. This is really unbelievable to watch. How scary this must have been for the kids, how scary it must have been for their parents. An angry bus driver trying to prove a point, teach a lesson. Whatever the case, it's not how you do it. The driver, clearly fed up, angry at how the kids are acting, locks the doors, turns off the air conditioning, and refuses to let them off the bus. He was right about that, but not about this. The kids are now scared. They beg to get off the bus, even start to cry. By this time, his daddy and several other parents were at the bus trying to get to their kids, but the defiant driver turns on them. Listen to him when one parent tries to pry open the door. With the situation now completely out of control, the driver, with the kids standing and crying, hits the gas and takes off.
I had no idea what he was doing. I didn't know if he was, went crazy and was going to go crash into something. Because the way he took off, he was speeding.
So Adam Kaufman jumps into his car, followed the bus with his 5-year-old trapped inside, and called 911. The driver eventually stopped at the elementary school. Police were waiting. That's when he and the kids were finally taken off the bus. Yeah, the parents said there's no excuse for this. The school district agrees, saying in part the district is conducting an investigation regarding concerns of the bus route. Bus driver has been placed on administrative leave while the investigation is conducted.
Not fired? Did you see the line of parents going by as the bus was speeding?
It was probably the scariest part for the kids when he sped off right in front of the parents.
A 5-year-old?
5-year-old was
My goodness.
Yeah. Wow. Common sense alert! You don't leave children on the bus. The longer we stay here, the more your parents are going to be upset. Oh, they were upset. And that guy right there, he was a hero following that bus driver going vroom, 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 speeding away. And he went, this is when it happened. Speeding away, vroom, I don't care. He's following me? Okay. Vroom. Like some action movie. ABC 10, bad behavior. Take a look at this.
This is the video now sparking outrage. From the moment they get on that bus to the moment they get home, they're no longer in our care, they're in their care. And we're supposed to trust them to watch after them, and we can't even do that. Leticia Maravilla has a 7-year-old daughter who rides the bus to New Haven Elementary.
I told her that I had a headache, and she said, "Do you think I care?"
The girl's great-grandmother picks her up from her bus stop at the same time every day.
I went to the bus stop on time and been waiting and waiting. I could see other parents pulled up and they're waiting. And then I can start seeing them all out, talking to each other, saying, "Where's the bus at?"
Parents waited more than 20 minutes for their students to arrive at this bus stop here at Springtime Park, but they never showed up. Then comes what Maravilla calls the most disturbing part of the day. When I was asking them, I said, "Well, where is my daughter now?" And they would not tell me where my daughter was. She says the district called back minutes later to say they needed to pick their kids up from New Haven Elementary School, nearly a full hour after she should have been dropped off.
Relax, baby. We're okay. You're okay.
And we go over there, and then I get out the car, and my daughter's crying her eyes out. She's like, says she has a headache, she has to use the bathroom, and then all the parents are just, everybody's crazy, all the kids are crying. The Manteca Unified School District says the bus driver told the district's director of transportation that student behavior was interfering with school bus safety.
She most told everyone to shut up, and we're not talking, we're just talking so quiet.
The district says the director told the driver to find a safe stopping point. The driver opted to return the kids to the elementary school, where they'd either be transferred to a different bus or released to parents. I feel she should not, if she cannot handle the noise of the kindergarten through 8th grade, she should not be driving a bus. The district says this is not normal procedure, and we extend our apologies to families affected by this decision. The operator involved in this incident has been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation of the incident.
Wow. There's time for another story. In Dallas, a school bus was delayed. Why? Well, just take a look. Taking your kids to 7-Eleven to go to the bathroom? I'll play the alert. I'll play that story when I come back. Just pisses me off. Stay with me. Never in the 6 years that I've been doing this broadcast has an issue grown way out of proportion than this next story. In this next story from 7 years ago, there was a video that showed students getting off the bus. Now, the bus was supposed to release, the bus driver picked up the kids that afternoon. And then they were missing for 4 hours, 3.5 hours. Go with 3 hours. Go with 3.5 hours. So what happened? The video you're about to see left me speechless. It's time to say, give me a break. But to whom? Here's Dana Zoga.
Tears and panic from parents as they got the runaround from a Durham bus company dispatcher about why their school bus was so late.
This is ridiculous.
And the people
you got
on the
kindergartners on the bus.
Parents called Dallas police officers who sent a helicopter to look from the air before the bus pulled up at 7:42 Thursday evening, bringing back 8 pre-K to first grade students back to relief families.
Oh, it's okay, baby.
At the the time, Kip Destiny Elementary, a charter school in Redburn, said the principal didn't know there was a problem until late Thursday night and didn't know exactly how many kids were impacted.
I just want you to see for yourself.
Oh my.
But Fox 4, acting on a tip, tracked down this surveillance video Friday.
Is there more kids?
Which adds to the mystery.
Oh my, they steady coming off the bus.
A bus full of what looks like about 20 kids stopped at the 7-Eleven more than 2 hours after school dismissed. The driver walked some kids in, while the rest ran across a busy parking lot on their own.
Look at all them kids running back there.
Diana Brown immediately recognized her 6-year-old in this video.
There go my baby, right there.
It was taken at 6 p.m., around the time she was begging the bus company for information. We started the day Friday asking Kip Destiny Elementary School and Durham Bus Service for answers. And what we got instead were apologies. Durham blamed a new driver and mechanical problems with the bus. Kip DFW, in a statement, promised to put school staffers on buses and make sure the driver is removed from that route.
So the school's over in Redbird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right there?
Mm-hmm.
That 7-Eleven is over here.
But as of late Friday evening, no one from Durham or Kip could explain why the bus stopped at the 7-Eleven in Pleasant Grove, miles away from where the bus was supposed to drop kids off in southeast Oak Cliff.
There's no explanation for what happened yesterday. Like, none. 4 hours with kids on the bus, you couldn't call no one.
Friday, Durham buses continue to pick up kids outside Kip Destiny. The school says it couldn't comment on whether it would continue to contract with the bus service after what has been an unsettling start to the school year for this mother and daughter.
Last night she told me, she said, Mom, you know what? I was like, what? She was like, I was afraid that I wasn't going to see you again. And I was like, why you say that? She was like, because we was gone for so long and I didn't know where we was. And I was like, well, you was going to see me again. I was going to find you.
Well, the mother and her 6-year-old daughter were reunited, as you saw last night. Her daughter, she says, is doing well, is okay, was not hurt. So Durham Bus Service, we called them back today to say, what do you know about the 7-Eleven stop? Because we learned about it, we acted on a tip, found out about it. And just about half an hour ago, Durham wrote me a statement, sent it over email, just so that Durham nor the school district were aware of the driver making this stop, that Durham is investigating the full chain of events, and that the driver will no longer be performing route duties for Kip. Kip Destiny Elementary says it also just learned about the 7-Eleven stop late this afternoon and is trying to figure out what happened, but that doesn't really explain why no one knew why the bus was so far off course. There were statements earlier today about these buses having GPS and the ability to be tracked, and we still don't know yet why no one knew exactly where this bus was yesterday. Steve, back to you.
And the story isn't going to go away until they can nail down the facts and pass them along to the parents. Deanna, I have a question. I know the kids were young, 4 to 6 years old, so I don't know how aware they are, but are they able to say what happened?
Well, the 6-year-old told her mom late last night, around bedtime, this is what the mom told me today, that she mentioned, oh, the driver let us use the bathroom. And the mom asked where, and the little girl didn't know exactly where. So, you know, when we brought forward this 7-Eleven video, that kind of made sense to her. But the kids we saw yesterday, the 8 kids that filed off the bus were reunited with their parents, were really young. But in the surveillance video, it looked like there were more kids. I don't know where those kids were dropped off before they reached that final stop around 7:45 last night. And some of them looked a bit older. So again, more questions. I know some of the parents were sent a letter tonight and told they would have the opportunity to meet with the school here next week.
Yeah, that's one of the mysteries. You saw 8 kids get off the bus. We are looking at 20 kids. Where are those 12 kids that aren't accounted for, and how did they get home before the 8? All right, last question. You talked to the mom, and she says she has a question or a problem with one of the company's accounts about the driver.
Right. When we showed her the surveillance video, she looked at the driver and said she does not think he's a new driver, which is initially what we heard from the officials involved in this today, that this was a new driver who wasn't familiar with this route, and that was part of the problem along with the mechanical problems. But this particular mom, she looked at that video and she said, I recognize him. He drove this route last week. That video, it's hard to make out facial details, but that was her impression. So we'll wait to find out more about that as well. Steve.
Okay, Deanna Zoga, live tonight. Thank you.
Common sense alert. Common sense alert. If the children you're riding on the bus needs to go to the bathroom, you need to tell them to wait until they reach the bus stop. You don't fucking go over to a freaking 7-Eleven on the side of the road and say, come on, come on. We're going to go to the bathroom. And then have the other kids like running into the parking lot, going home to mommies and daddies. When there was a busy parking lot. What has common sense not told us before? If it happened at CCISD, I would basically give them the finger and start saying, you done screwed up. You're done screwed up. You're going to court. That's exactly what I would have done. If you haven't heard the bluff, I let them deal with it. I'm staying out of it for good. So what can be done about this? If your child's on the bus for too long, you got to find out what's going on. You need to call the transportation authority at your school and ask them, hey, what's going on here? Blah blah blah. Usually, schools can send out letters home to parents saying that there was a bus accident, there was a maintenance problem, blah blah blah. In the case of that bus driver, they say it wasn't new. It was just a route problem. You cannot be firing him because of that incident. The school knew about it. But the developer of that bus didn't know a damn thing. So, we haven't known basically for 7 years. Okay, here's a bonus story here. When I first watched this, it literally made me sick. 6 years doing this show. Watch.
Anyone, not just parents, a school bus driver in Indiana allowing the kids to drive the school bus while other students were on board.
It's all good. I'm letting her stop and Michael stop. Don't tell no other adults about this.
I'm speechless. That is the voice of the bus driver. 27-year-old Joandrea McAtee lost her job after she allowed 3 students to get behind the wheel and drive. Their ages, 11, 13, and 17. A parent alerted the school police when they saw the video. McAtee was arrested and charged with felony neglect. The school said in a statement that they are angered and disappointed in the actions of the driver. The safety of the students is a top priority. No students were injured, and the woman is facing jail time. Another
Common sense alert. Where did we go wrong here? Here's what you need to know. Are you stupid? After 4 years, are you stupid? Letting your students drive the bus like it's GTA all over again? This is outrageous. I'm speechless. After watching this, I'm speechless. What is wrong with you? When your students drive the bus? What do you think this is? Grand Theft Auto? This isn't Grand Theft Auto. Your job as the bus driver is to take the students from point A, B, C, and D. A and B is from house to school. C and D is from school to your house safely. No disruptions, no kids riding the school bus. If there's ever an issue, contact the police, and they will deal with it. And watching that, I'm glad this bitch is being put in jail, and I hope she'll learn a lesson. You don't let your students ride the damn bus. The safety of the students is number one priority, and damn well it will be. That's all we got for this Wednesday, going to Thursday. And speaking of Thursday, coming up on our Throwback Thursdays, here we're going to be off for 2 weeks. But we got a bunch of throwback stories to tell. After almost 100 shows, I've never, ever coming up on our Throwback Thursday, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about escalator safety. Plus about months ago, we were talking about busting miles. If you remember that run, I'm going to play that clip. So let's come up with Throwback Thursday. We're not going to do the escalator story, that Buster Miles story. We'll probably do the Sunday Acceleration story. We're also going to look into slut shaming. So slut shaming and escalator safety. That's on Throwback Thursday on the GB YouTube channel. That's it for Wednesday going to Thursday. We'll see you again for Throwback Thursday. This has not been a great day right now after watching this bitch letting the kids ride the bus. Where's the common sense in this? For all of us here at YouTube, I got no words. I ain't got no words.